Hi guys, it's Sugarplum Sims here and welcome back to another speed build. Today we are building a beach house and I don't think I've really built anything quite like this. It's quite, I want to say, a typical beach house type thing. I don't know. Basically, I was looking on Pinterest for some build ideas because I've never really used Pinterest that much before and I don't know, I think who was it? Like Lukey. I don't know. Yeah, I think it was Lukey, and he's suggested going on Pinterest if you ever get stuck with build ideas. So I decided just to make a Pinterest account and do that because I'd never really used Pinterest that much before. So I also really have been wanting to build a beach house recently because Simlacy had built one and hers was really nice, and I also saw quite a few other people build one, so I don't know, I feel like it's nearly, well, I say it's kind of nearly over with winter, but we still are sort of in spring now, so it's not really the time for a beach house, but at the same time I've just really been wanting to build one, so that is what I did. And the front of this changes a little bit, and I also cut out a few parts. I don't usually cut out things in my build videos, but I don't know, I don't want to have a build video that's literally has all the boring things in it, because let me just tell you, I changed the columns in this build way too many times, as well as the roof color. And also I just ate, so sometimes when I just eat, like, my throat goes a little weird. Don't know why that is, it's weird, as I just mentioned. So I changed the columns way too much, and I also changed the roof pattern a lot, so I did cut out a few bits of that so that it wasn't too boring to watch, and I really love how this turned out, and it's one of my favorite builds that I've built recently, and I think that's partly because I was feeling really inspired for this. I had just a bunch of beach type house screenshots saved, not screenshots, boards or pins. I don't know the Pinterest terminology. I just had a bunch of things on Pinterest, pictures for beach house type things, and I loved using that as a reference to give me ideas. And yeah, as you can tell, I am fiddling way too many times with these columns. They were really annoying me, and I actually have to change the columns in the end because they just weren't working. So this is up on the gallery if you'd like it, under my username, which is down below. And I've actually been having a load of really nice support on my channel recently. All of your comments have been so nice, and we are also really, really close now to 100 subscribers, which is incredible, and I have no idea what I'm doing for 100 subscribers, honestly, because haven't really been doing YouTube for that long, so, and also this is only like the second big type milestone for me that I've hit, so I haven't really got any ideas planned for when we hit 100 subscribers, and we're only 12 away right now, which is crazy. And if you have any suggestions for doing what to do for 100 subscribers, then do let me know in the comments down below, and I'd love your suggestions, and it will be really helpful because I'm not good with ideas. No, I won't be doing a Q&A because I don't think I'll get enough questions in, because I don't usually get that many comments for suggestions, so I'm not doing a Q&A, and maybe I can do a build, or maybe I could do something involving you guys, because I definitely think that would be a lot nicer than just doing like another build. And so yeah, and what am I saying? I've kind of lost my train of thoughts just then. So the interior of the house I actually love. My favourite room is actually the bathroom in this house, just because there's this massive bay window type thing, and this bathtub that's just kind of standing on its own, and I thought that looked really cool. I was inspired by one of the pins on my Pinterest board, if you want to follow me on Pinterest, I'm pretty sure I had all the boards public, so that if you want to look at what inspired me for this build, then you can do so. I think my username is just SugarplumSims, and it will be probably quite easy to find me. I haven't put up a profile picture or anything yet because I've only just started using it, and people are probably going to call me a Pinterest noob or something in the comments. I don't even know if you'd call it a noob because it's Pinterest. I don't know. See, I don't know Pinterest at all. So for this build, I really wanted the two that like big circular window with the cross through it because I thought that looked really nice, and it also kind of reminds me of like a boat window type thing, and I just thought that looked quite nice. So I added two of those in, and then I also used the big sort of curved top windows from Get to Work, which I thought looked really nice, and I tried to keep this build fairly modern because that is just a style I prefer to build in, and I think I did pretty well. And yeah, as you can just see, I cut out changing those pillars because they change too much and it's kind of ridiculous. I was way too picky with them, as well as the roof colour. I don't know, sometimes when I'm building, there will just be like a few particular things that I'm just way too picky about and I keep changing up. So I would only really cut out that bit, and also if ever it took me ages to do the floor plan or something, then I would also cut out that. I don't really like cutting out things in my videos because I like you to be able to see my thought process, which I think is definitely important, especially if you're using my build videos for inspiration or ideas for your own videos. Then that is probably a good thing to keep in so that you can kind of get ideas of your own if I don't use something myself but you think it looks cool. The flooring also changes a bit. I have to say, I change it sort of to I think it's the yellow kind of wood. No, yellow is completely the wrong colour description. I use like the pale wood birch type flooring. I don't know if it's birch at all. And I actually want to talk about this for a minute because I love what I did here, because I did two bookcases and then I did like the little ottoman that is actually really cool. It's the one from City Living, and I did that with like a cool pattern on it, and then I did shelves above it, and I just feel like it looks quite cool because I wanted to do, I can't remember what it's called, but basically when you have like a window that kind of goes in a bit and you have a little seating area under the window. Don't know what it's called, but I kind of wanted to give that as what am I saying, like to kind of display that as this. So I tried my best and I really like how it turned out. And back to the flooring, because that is always a much more interesting topic. Not really, okay. So I do change the flooring quite a bit as well, and I can't remember whether I change it at the end to the right one outside, just because I change it quite a bit. So the flooring outside might be a little different. I don't know. If it is, I'll probably change it before I upload it, because I have yet to upload this build because I couldn't name it. And it's named now to the White Coral Beach House. I think I mentioned that at the beginning, but I didn't name it to start with because I didn't have a name for it. But I think that the name that I came up with is quite cool. I think it's quite descriptive of it. And I also wanted to keep the colours inside it quite light and modern and just quite beachy. I do use a bit more black than I would have wanted to, but I definitely think the black seems to work quite well in it. And yeah, so we are working on the living room right now, and the living room changes quite a bit with the sofas, just because I couldn't find a sofa that I wanted, because I had a few pictures of living rooms on the Pinterest board thing, and I really wanted a sofa that was kind of looked quite comfortable and it had a few pillows on it, but we don't really have that many sofas with cushions on it. And this one from Movie Hangouts that is here, I really liked that, but the colours on it didn't really work very well with the house because I wasn't really using that many warm colours to start with, and then I tried because I feel like a beach house is quite cool, as in the kind of temperature cool, not as in the style or anything. So I thought it would be better to keep it quite with cool colours, and I think that works a bit better. I also use a bit of orange, I think, because that complements blue quite well. And I use. Let me just tell you that the City Living stuff pack has some of my favourite furniture in it for a long time, because I think if I were to name sort of the order of most used packs that I have, City Living would definitely be the first one because this furniture is really good in it, and it's definitely furniture that I'd probably see more often in a house than some of the other furniture we have. The Get Together house, no, the Get Together pack was a little bit more traditional, and I don't tend to build with traditional furniture, but the Get Together is pretty good as well, and the movie Hangout I feel is quite stylized, so you can't really use the furniture in it for just any old home. I know that there are some pieces of furniture that I use quite a lot for any type of house, such as I think it's like the hanging plant with the type of shelf thing above it, and anything else. I use quite a few of the plants and stuff. It's just quite of a colourful and not and quite a lot of patterns in it. Like I love the patterns in all the furniture, but I just can't really use them very often because they don't always work with the style of the room. So I don't use that pack as much as I want to, and I use Spa Day a lot. I know that for a fact that I use the Spa Day items quite a lot, and I don't really have that many other packs. I think I have Get to Work, which I've always used the items from Get to Work quite a lot, but some of the items are just quite sciencey, futuristic type, and I don't use them as much. To be honest, I can't actually remember some of the items in the pack. A lot of the items are kind of, you have to unlock them from being in careers, so I don't know why I've just gone on just talking about like what packs I prefer or anything, but I guess it's kind of useful because I know that I've always been one to not buy all the packs that they come out with, they being EA, and I always try to choose the packs to buy that I know that I'm going to use the most. So at the moment, I think I'm going to probably get the vampire pack at some point. I don't know when because at the moment I don't really have the money for it. And then the packs that I really want to get are Perfect Patio and what else? Like my brain is doing a brain fart, and I've never actually used the term brain fart before, but I guess that's the first time for everything. And okay, so I'm trying to think of all the other packs. I don't think I'd get luxury party stuff, or at least put it as a priority because, I don't know, it's just, I don't really use the formal wear and everything that much, and I haven't seen as many items in it, apart from like the buffet and stuff, which I wouldn't use that much, to be honest. So there's also the cool kitchen stuff, which I would probably only get for the counters, but then again, I feel like it's not worth the money if I'm just buying it for the counters. And the vintage glamour stuff pack I actually really want to get because I was a little hesitant to buy it because I feel as though I wouldn't use very many of the items in it, but now that I've seen a lot more builds with it and people sort of playing with it, it looks a lot nicer than I thought it would. So in order of stuff packs that I would get, it would probably be Perfect Patio and then Vintage Glamour, and then maybe one or the other for the backyard stuff and kids room stuff. I sometimes group those together even though they're kind of completely different. But the furniture recently in the packs has been really amazing. So well done to EA for doing great furniture designs and stuff. I also changed the color for the lights because I always find that the orange light type, well, it's not really orange, it's kind of yellow tone light. I don't really like that as much. I always prefer changing it to more of a cooler tone, especially since this is a beach house. I prefer using the cooler tones. I also love those curtains. The curtains from City Living are really good, and yeah, I like City Living. I think we can all establish that fact. Okay, so I think we're moving on to the bedroom now, and I added the bathroom in kind of at the top of the stairs because that seemed to work out quite well. So this house, all in all, is quite open plan. I feel like you wouldn't want small rooms in a beach house because I think it would just get a bit stuffy and a bit hot as well, since it is a beach and I don't know, it's quite hot at a beach, I think. And so I was going to use a dresser here, but I decided to just use a mirror instead. I use the mirror from City Living because that is actually a really cool mirror, and I don't use it enough because even though it has more of a, what is it, like Moroccan feel to it, I do think it can work quite well in any type of bedroom. And the bedroom style is kind of more feminine if I were to sort of say like what I think of the gender of the bedroom is, but obviously I didn't want to make it too say like girly. I don't know, I don't really like putting a gender on colours and everything because I know that not everyone would like that, and I don't know, I would respect the fact that not everyone would refer to a colour as a particular gender. So obviously if you like this bedroom and you're a boy, then I mean I don't really care because that's completely up to you. And I also, the wall pattern that I was just putting up here, which I don't think I use, but I use it downstairs. Oh, do I use it though? Maybe I do. No, I change it. So that wall pattern with like the little dots and stuff, I use downstairs where the little bay window thing is on the ottoman, which I thought looked really nice. I actually love what am I saying? How that wallpaper looks. I just think it works really well in sort of more modern kind of Pinteresty type homes. I don't know, I'm just trying to use all the cool words. Not that they are cool, I don't know. And I didn't do much with the outside. We're not on the outside yet, but I do add sand terrain tools to it to make it look more of a beach home. And I also used one of the little bonfire, no, they're not bonfires, they're the little campfire things out there at the front, which I did think looked quite nice with it. I thought it looked quite cool as like a beachy thing, because I know on the island in Windenburg there is actually a bonfire somewhere on the island which you can go to, and it's quite fun, but I haven't really played with anybody who lives on the island. I think I started playing, what is it? I honestly can't remember the name of the challenge, but I started playing this challenge in my own time, which was you're on an island and you didn't have electricity. I don't know, I think it wasn't the island challenge, I don't know what it was. And sorry about that, I just got a little bit interrupted there, so I had to take a short break, so I kind of lost my train of thought, and I did just record the same part, like the ending just now, but I forgot to mention a few things that I did kind of want to mention, so I thought I'd redo this now that I've kind of regained everything I wanted to say. So we're just working on the bathroom now, and also sorry if you can hear any wind noises or background noises because it's very windy today. I think there's like a storm called Doris Storm or whatever it's called. I have no idea, but it's very windy all over the UK. So sorry if you hear a lot of wind noises and everything. And also, I actually, because I took a break now, I think the audio will probably sound a little bit better at the end of this video because my fan is no longer making crazy noises. That's another thing. Because my fan on the computer doesn't really sound that bad usually when I'm doing voiceovers for speed builds and CAS, but when I'm recording Let's Plays, my fan goes absolutely crazy, and it's really annoying actually because I noticed in my recent part, the Big Sister Challenge, so that towards the end it was really loud, so I really hope that I can try and find a way to fix that. Well, not the fan, because I don't think I'll be able to fix the sound of the fan, but maybe I can buy a new microphone. I think I mentioned before that I want to buy a new microphone, but I don't know when I will be able to, because I don't have a huge amount of money to spend at the moment, so it might even have to wait till my birthday, which is in July, so it's a long time to wait, but maybe before then I can save up some money, although I can't get a job right now because, I just can't, so, maybe the sound quality, I can find a way to improve it. I prefer having good sound in my videos, so yeah, I will try and think of something to improve it, and yeah, so we're just doing some of the terrain tools at the moment, and I think, did I describe what the bathroom was like? I think so. That's like my favourite room of the house because it looks quite beachy, and I quite like how it looks, so for the terrain, I kept it quite minimal because it's a beach and I don't think you find a huge amount of plants and everything on the beach, but I did add a few flowers which I thought looked quite nice, and there's also a small swimming pool. I didn't want to do a big swimming pool just because I feel like in a beach you don't really need the pool because you are surrounded by water. But I still wanted it because I definitely think it's quite nice to go swimming in a place that isn't covered in fish and salt water. Actually, I quite like swimming in pools with salt water because I can actually open my eyes underwater. Although actually that's kind of a funny thing because one time my friend and I were swimming in the pool at her place, and she has like saltwater pool. And then it was quite funny actually because when we had come out from swimming and we had been opening our eyes underwater quite a lot, and then when afterwards it was kind of, everything was quite soft focused and very bright, so it was kind of funny because we couldn't really see very well. Obviously it's not very funny if we would have been blind or something, but we didn't go blind. I can still see perfectly well, so that is all good, and I quite like how I did the terrain. I used quite a few ferns which I thought looked quite nice. I used the ones from Outdoor Retreat which look a bit more like dried out, which I think works a bit better for a beach house, and then the rest of the terrain is pretty minimalistic, and I added a few yoga mats and meditation stools, I don't know what they're called, and a little chess table which I thought was quite nice. So, and I think we're coming up to the end of the build video. Actually, I'm just working on this like little fireplace type thing, so I'm going to leave you off to watch the rest of the video here, and also remember, if you have any suggestions for when we hit 100 subscribers, any build videos or video ideas, then be sure to leave them down below, as I'd love to hear your suggestions. So I really hope you enjoy. If you did, give this a big thumbs up and also subscribe if you're new, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!
Too hard. But we were traveling the mountains just to find the loudest seas. 'cause I am happy on this island. Wanna be my fun. I don't ever want to leave. I'm in a tropic club. I remember